Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to share with you how I repot my orchid in moss. Now, when you buy your orchids from the store, typically they're packed in this moss that is really tightly packed around the roots, and the problem with that is your roots will not be able to breathe, so eventually they will suffocate and start to rot. So it is a really good idea when you buy your orchid from the store to take it out of its pot, remove all of the media, whether that be bark or moss. Take a good look at the roots, see if there's anything that has rotted. If you do see any rotten roots, you want to make sure you cut them with a sterilized set of scissors or planting shears, because you want to remove any of those moldy, decaying roots. So once your orchid is free of any rotten roots, you'll be all set to pot your orchid in whatever media you choose. So today I'll be working with moss. There are different types of moss on the market. The type that I'm using is from New Zealand. It was recommended by the Orchid Whisperer. She has a YouTube channel, I'll link it down below. But she said this moss works really well for her, and she lightly packs it around the roots, and that enables the roots to breathe because you're not going to be tightly squishing the moss into the pot. And also it helps retain moisture, so that's going to really help out this orchid. So this guy, he had, I believe it was either spider mite or aphids, and you can see on like this leaf there are some little like bite marks. So I removed all the media from him, and I've just been like spraying him with a water bottle every day before my moss came in the mail. But I'm going to be repotting this gorgeous variegated orchid today, and I'm going to show you how I do it. So I'm just going to start off by looking for any roots that don't look so healthy. So right here, there's like looks kind of black. So basically when you're looking for rotten roots, they're gonna be black, they're gonna be mushy. So if you kind of press on them and they kind of like squish, then you'll know it's rotten. But like this little piece, I'm gonna chop that off. These are sterilized garden shears, so they're safe to use. You wanna make sure you're always using clean tools. I'm just gonna chop off that little piece that looks dead. And you know what, to make it easier, I'm gonna take my spray bottle and spray these roots, and that will just show me which ones are really healthy. So if your roots are healthy, they're gonna be like a bright green color. So let me just spray those and I'll be right back. So I just sprayed the roots with that spray bottle, and you can see they're really bright green, they're firm. So I know that I have a healthy root system. And I just looked closely at my roots and under the leaves, anywhere on the plant, just to check for any bugs that might be hiding, because I want to make sure this plant is pest free before I plant it in my moss. I don't want to deal with any problems. So it looks really healthy, and there's no more black roots that are left, so I'm all set to start to plant it up in my moss. This is the type of moss I'm using. I purchased it from Amazon. So this is New Zealand Sphagnum moss, and I only used this much. You can kind of see from that paper, it was just this one little area. And so a really small amount. This is basically like vacuum sealed into a little block. You can see it's even pretty thin. And I just added it to a bowl of water. And this is how much it's expanded. So you only need a really small amount when you're using this moss. You don't want to use too much, you don't want to waste it. But I'm going to be using this moss for 3 of my orchids, so it's not going to go to waste. You just want to make sure that you hydrate it before you add it to your orchid, because you want to make sure that it's nice and soft and will fit around the root system. This is the type of pot that I like to use. This I ordered from repotme.com, and I'll link it down below. And I don't know if I mentioned, I'll also link the moss down below. I got it from Amazon. But I really like this pot because it has drainage in the bottom, and it also has ventilation around the sides. And that's really great for your orchid, so that you can get some air flowing through the roots, which will be more similar to the conditions of this orchid growing in nature. I'm just gonna start by placing some of this moss at the bottom, and I did squeeze out any extra liquid. And again, I'm not packing it into the pot. I'm making sure that it's just loosely laying in the pot so that the roots can breathe. And then just like the Orchid Whisperer, she takes her moss and puts it in the middle of the roots. And I'm wearing gloves just in case there's any type of wood or like things that could cut my hand or like splinter. give me a splinter. So I'm just trying to protect my hands as much as possible. And the added benefit of using this type of moss is it's supposed to like cushion the roots, and the added moisture that the moss will provide will help with the root system, and hopefully it'll grow larger and stronger. And that's pretty much there all is to it. So another thing I really like about these clear pots is once the roots start to grow, you'll be able to see them through the side of the pot. So it's a really great indication of when to water. So when your roots turn like a silvery color, that means they're dehydrated, so you need to water them. But to check when this needs water, since the roots are so small, I'll just kind of move the moss to the side and take a peek at the top, and I can kind of look down into the center and just see how the roots are doing. And also the clear pots are great because it can tell you if there's any problems going on. So the only reason why I knew I had a pest problem is because I looked in the side and I could see like an aphid or spider mite crawling in the media, the old media. So it's a great way to kind of check up on your orchid and make sure that it's pest free and just see how the roots are doing. He was a lot more maintenance before I put him in this moss, since I had to spray him with a water bottle twice a day. Since he had no type of media, he was just kind of chilling in this empty pot. But yeah, that's all there is to it. If you guys would like to see an orchid care video, just let me know in the comments down below. And like I mentioned, I'll try to link any products that I used so you can buy it for yourself if you're interested in purchasing these products. You can also follow me on my Instagram. It's Juju Succulents, and I'd love it if you subscribe to the channel. I post videos every week. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.